Yeah.
So now that we're live, I'm just going to say no intro video or anything. We're just going live because
I've been hacked. Technology is wonky.
We're not scheduled for kids, so I'm just going to say fuck it.
Right. It has been one of them days. So it's Astrology and Alchemy with your host, Paranormal Sarah. If my microphone's working, can you hear me? And Matthew Slosier. And we're here. And that's about all that we can ask of any of you. Are you there? Are you there, Matt?
I was trying to send a message, and for some reason on my app here, I'm on Astrology and Alchemy and not my homepage, and it won't let me like toggle back, and I have no idea why. And so I just rage when
technology doesn't work.
Technology doesn't do what I'm. There we go. I finally found how to switch.
Oh, you got it. Okay, good.
Now I'll switch back.
Doesn't it feel good when things work? Doesn't it feel good?
And I'll send you my dumb message that needs no response other than a text.
Yeah, we're just touching base, guys. It's Astrology and Alchemy. If it's your first time ever listening to the show, whether it's on Subspace, Odyssey Radio, the Paranormal Channel, through Astrology and Alchemy, Autumn Moon Astrology, Paranormal Sarah, there's so many different little tentacles that we reach out to and work with. We do hope that you're maybe listening live. That's always fun because in the chat room, we have people that join us. They give us their 2 cents and 5 cents and 25 cents. And thank God for that. Because I'm wrong sometimes. What? It's true. It's true. I was actually doing a birth chart reading this morning, doing comparisons, and holy cow. Seeing some of the stuff people are going through lately, especially with Pluto shifts. Sherry, Ruth, Carson, Brandy, John, Matt, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I've got my hot coffee. It's got a little honey in it because I'm trying to cut. I'm addicted to Coffee Mate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I don't drink much coffee anymore. But I drink, and I get lectured on this all the time. I drink if this is going to kill you, I'm a dead man because I drink massive amounts of this.
Yeah, that's not the best thing for you. You know what I mean?
I know it's not the best thing for you, but I could be doing cocaine or meth too. And I don't,
right.
So.
That's what I tell myself. I could be doing some real serious stuff, but instead it's like dark chocolate and coffee.
So it's Coke Zero or meth, you know?
They're pretty much the same thing, I think, aren't they?
I don't know.
One might taste a little better than the other.
I'm not being serious. I'm being snarky and cynical, just so you guys know.
Okay, sorry.
Kind of
Focus. Get focused. Okay, guys, today is Tuesday, October 3rd. Man, there's all kinds of memes and things going around on the internet from a show I didn't watch back in the day that I should have, I guess, watched the show. But anyway, it's October 3rd. Mercury's in Virgo today. Pluto in Capricorn. We gave you a little bit of a leg up on this last week when you joined us. It's a good career day, but we mentioned that today would be revelations. Things are coming. Game changer things today. Adjusting how you move today. Did you do some cleaning today? Did you do some purging today? Oh, there goes my dog and the teapot. Because
I was gonna say it sounded that was a weird combo. I was like, God, somebody's coffee's ready.
My
dog's letting you know about it.
Yeah, I have a son who is an old Englishman trapped in a 11-year-old body, and he likes to have tea at night. And he makes it.
You need to teach him to talk with an accent.
Well, he would never do such a thing, but he makes like oatmeal in the morning and is the most mature 11-year-old I've ever met. He's been that way since he's been a kid though. So, you'd be like, is it green or blue? And he'd be like, it's aqua, mother. Like he's just has always been kind of serious. But Steph, one of my favorite astrologers joining us in the chat saying, yep, today ended up being a total shit show for me as well. And I hate to laugh, Steph, but just so much that I can't even. I feel like if you are on TikTok and you follow Trick Tales, she's my favorite to listen to. She's a escort because I work in sex offense treatment and stuff. And so she's an escort and she tells crazy tales. I know things are wild when I hear some of her tales.
I got to check that.
I'm going to send it to you.
I'm intrigued.
She tells the most amazing tales. And so I just think about like, man, it could have been worse than hers. And, I wonder what the end of the night will say for that. But I think that there's been a lot of people reaching out. I think a lot of past ripples, a lot of, especially in the last 2 days, some of these shifts and the pressure buildup is a lot for people. This Aries full moon, we warned you guys last Tuesday. We told you. It's not like we didn't tell you. So I'm interested. How do you feel about this Aries full moon and just the jams, just the vibes these days? People in the chat say it's extra crazy, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Steph said, I was doing so well. And then kablam, kablamo. That's kind of how it was, like just, yeah. Anyway, tomorrow's Wednesday.
My brain's not working well. I'm going to look up while we're talking just so people know what I'm doing. Because you always talk about songs.
Yeah. You have a song stuck in your head that's singing to you?
What you were just saying there was just making me,
freaking you out a little bit.
You think of a song lyric. So,
okay.
I'll just keep doing your thing. I'll just go ahead and post it in chat.
Okay. Okay. So October.
In case anyone knows, now that I interrupt you on that, if anyone knows the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, it's holy smoke.
Oh, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. We have a Ring of Fire this month. I'm really going to need some of my casual astrologers to join me today because I'm doing my very best on the daily breakdown of these things, but there's not a lot of stuff going on in this next week, which is kind of a weird thing to say because there's a lot going on this month. So let's kind of get into it, shall we? So tomorrow, Wednesday, October 4th. Don't know how many conspiracy theorists we've got joining us and all the jams and stuff for tomorrow, but it's going to be a great day for messages and communication. We had a near miss on an asteroid passing by. We've got some satellite malfunctions. We've got some solar flares and some climate change, some of the most record high heats, Minneapolis canceling their triathlons and everything else. But for October 4th, we have FEMA doing their national emergency broadcast the same day that we have Mercury entering into Libra. So I want to say Mercury in Libra, Mercury, I always think messages, social graces, discussions, but for the next 2 weeks, guys, this is maybe less worry and then moving into Libra, which is all about right, wrong, good, bad, diplomatic stuff. So Matt, Mercury entering in Libra, what say you?
So Libra, and full disclosure, I have a lot of Libra energy, so I'm probably more sympathetic to it, is it's diplomatic, but it's a cardinal sign, first sign of the fall. So I always feel like it tries to move things, but it tries to move things in a subtle, almost passive aggressive. I always view it as the analogy I always use is somebody invites you over for dinner, and then like after you're done eating, they're like, "Hey, while you're over here, can you help me move some stuff?" And then they have you do a whole bunch of work. They move things, but it's in Mercury's communication. So I feel this isn't going to be like drama. This is very diplomatic communication. But I feel like you just need to be aware because there's a nudge. Like there's definitely a proactivity to Libra, and it's moving you in a direction. It's just trying to move you in a direction in a nice way. You trap more flies. I used this quote earlier today with somebody. You trap more flies with honey than vinegar, and that's the.
I know, but the sassy
comeback might end up getting trapped. It's just not going to be a whole lot of drama, but you still might end up getting trapped.
But still, shit. You get more flies with shit, right? Isn't that the saucy comeback for that? Reading some of the chat room banter. I do love the chat. So if you guys do not get a chance to join us live, I think that this is sometimes really important to see things live. And also if you're not using the show, when I say using, I have a lot of individuals that reach out. They're interested in what shadow work is, right? They're interested in what can they do to heighten and sharpen their intuition and be psychic and be more empathetic or have better boundaries or work in ways of understanding astrology and connections. it's things like just getting a piece of paper out right now. And when we're going day by day and you're listening to what the stars have in place, that you think, oh man, I'm who, what, when, where, why, those thoughts or those songs like Matt just shared. If a lyric comes to your mind, if a thought pops into your head, put it down because it's going to mean something. And if you're reaching out to strangers in the ether, asking them what it means, I mean, hell, they might be able to give you an answer. I'll give you an answer, but it's what does it mean to you? And validation is the best way to sharpen intuition. So use these shows, guys, and the chat room is sharing. This might be a little bit of the calm before the storm, maybe. Sure. That could be. I think tomorrow for Wednesday, the only thing that's happening is that. That's it. So, but Mercury's a big shift and it's direct. It's not Mercury retrograde, people getting freaky. You're going to have direct messages. People are going to be reaching out if you've been waiting for an email, if you've been needing to clean up your emails or send letters. For me, it'll be my thank you cards. Get them in the mail. I've got somebody waiting for a necklace I should have mailed out a week ago. I need to get it in the mail tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day to get that stuff done. Get it done. Okay. Thursday, October 5th. Will we have survived the zombie apocalypse? The FEMA overlord sending out low weapon frequencies. I think so. Hopefully. Thursday, October.
I'd be tempted to do this, but I won't because now you'll get suspended for it. But I remember like 15 years ago when there was like rumors about the end of the world like happening on a certain day, and I was like back on social media at that time. I was posting all these things about weird things I was seeing, kind of zombie apocalypse ish, and I was like, "Is anybody else seeing this?" I'm just thinking like that was done in humor, and now you do something like that, you get banned. Yeah, you get banned. Like
type
there's
stuff,
no.
yeah.
The universe has no sense of humor anymore. We're all just freaking prudes.
Well, and I got hacked today and shut, and I couldn't figure out if somebody was hacking me or if I had said something. Like I had that, like, uh-oh, what'd I say? Like that was my first response is they shut me down. The big brother said no. And so it's kind of sad that we are in that world. But so here we go. And I'm interested. Steph, the astrologer's joining us. If you have something, please let us know. But for Thursday, October 5th, the day after, I have a big fat donut hole as far as like the planetary movements. Nothing's really moving in, out, around, or in a significant way. We have a lot of planets retrograde, and we're going to have this frequency thing happening. Oh, Steph says, I have the moon squaring off with Neptune. Okay, well, let us go to, because that's going to be Neptune
moon is Pisces.
Retrograde. Right, that's when we are going to look at it. So yes, this is why.
I don't know what the moon would be.
No, so hold on. This is where present. I'm always trying to get good at this. Share my screen.
Thank you, Carson. I'm just going to throw that out there. I always appreciate.
I love that.
Carson always has nice things to say.
I know. Carson does have things to say. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Man, I wish I could make my screen smaller, but if I try and mess with things, it'll get horrible. So this is the 4th. So tomorrow, so if we move to the 5th, the moon, I know Neptune's over here. So if it's squaring off with then that means it's
Pisces. So it's got to be Gemini or Sag. So where's it at?
It's up here. It's Gemini. There it is. Okay. So the moon and Gemini square 90-degree angle with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Woo, baby. Okay, so let's write that down. That's not well, I guess it is. Moon
the Neptune's bigger than the moon. I know there's moon people out, and Cancer is one of my favorite signs, so I don't want to like crap on the moon, but the moon, it changes every 2 or 3 days, so I don't put a whole lot of stock in moon shifts because they're very quick. But so Gemini. So this is really kind of square is always kind of like a conflict, and so Pisces is this, or Neptune is deception, but it's in Pisces, so it's kind of like deception squared. And so you have this conflict, and Gemini always view it as like very extroverted and trying to make a decision between kind of the two faces. So I feel like you're emotionally torn and you're having conflict, but the thing that's causing the conflict is all a illusion anyway. So this is a conflict that's all in your head. There really is no conflict because one of your two options is not realistic. So
Not all options
if you're
are
conflicted
real.
over something on Thursday, try to figure out which one is, because probably the one you want out of those two is probably just made up in your head and not really an option in the first place.
Man. Man, as I was writing that, I mean, talk about those kind of messages coming to you as you're writing things. Not all the options are real. I think that that's really important to hear, that, I mean, even politically, I think about, because again, I love seeing our astrologers sharing in the chat room that not only is it squaring off with Neptune, but it's other direction squaring off with that Mercury in Libra. So the moon, those emotions squaring off with Mercury in that really diplomatic space. And so I start thinking, what does this mean internally? Conflicts. What is real? What is real? What is real? And then on the outside, like nationally, internationally, for the world, what is real? I think that will be relevant on Thursday the 5th. Don't we think? Yeah, I think that that's going to be really important.
This resonates with me because I feel like some that argue with me to say that my position of not supporting one of the two options, since you said politically, not supporting either of the two options, they say that my position is fantasy because at the end of the day, you have to choose one of the two. And I firmly believe as long as people keep choosing between two shit sandwiches, you'll keep getting shit sandwiches.
Yeah, you need to speak up and ask for what the third option is or don't choose. So, South Harmon Institute of Technology, here we come. Friday, October 6th. And you move. And really the only thing that I have, again, please correct me, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets in retrograde, all really heavy on one side. And then the only thing moving is the moon waning, right? Because we just had a full moon. So moon waning in Cancer. So unless I have anything else to add there, what do you Cancer, not to trap you.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this other than, it's in its home sign. I like this sign. So nothing, like I said, all the water signs seem to get pissed whenever I comment on them for reasons I don't understand. Cancer is very emotional. Cancer can change and shift just like the moon changes. So I just think that the moon in its home sign of Cancer just means there's going to be a lot of emotion on. Are we on Friday?
It's Friday, okay. October 6th.
Yeah, so a lot of emotion on Friday, a lot of emotional depth on Friday, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just be a lot of emotion. People would be thinking with their heart, not their head on Friday.
I have the Mulan, the Christina Aguilera. Who is this girl I see staring back? You know that song? I know that song. You know that song. He's a dad of 5, guys. He knows that song. Reflections. And water, if it's moving and it's vibrant and you're having emotions, man, I've been really emotional these last few days. Just emotions, when you're quivering and all that, you can't get a good vision. You are like Zoolander going, who am I? I don't know. Who are you, man? And you can't see it. So if it's placid, then it's called
Merman. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love that movie. Yeah. And
mermaid. Merman.
Every time I cough, I think I'm getting the black lung pop. Anyway, so we can't be overly emotional on Friday, regardless of what might greet us on Wednesday with the zombie apocalypse through frequency interfaces, or Thursday's silent, quiet death of just 28 days later walking the streets. We should be thinking about what is real. And then Friday, we have written down Mulan with depth. I'm putting for my divination and suggestions depth, because often we're doing, the alchemy of the who and the what and the Jupiter to the ninth degree. Depth is one of those. If you're doing, 5D awakening, transcendence, where is your depth? I think that's always good in your water magic to be looking at. Okay. Any big things for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that we want to put into the predictive spaces before we move into the weekend?
I don't see anything here. Moon stuff. So folks know I generally don't translate anything that's moon related into like big news predictions and things. And if I remember right, pretty much everything here has been moon or Mercury. So I'm gonna not make any predictions yet on a big scale. I think there's gonna be home stuff. I think keep in mind that people might be emotional. So Friday. I say this, I'll say this always, but give people grace, but I'd give extra grace on Friday because people might be a little extra thinking more with their heart than their head.
Can you even imagine a little extra on top? I
just got to add, we have a lot. I'm just watching the chat and things. We have a lot of people on tonight, so I just want to say hello. I don't know what's going on tonight, but we got a lot of folks on tonight.
It's the end of the world as we know it. And people want that last minute guidance. So Steph says, I am the moon chick. I think because I'm a woman, because I menstruate, because I feel empathy with other organic creatures around me, and because I like to go forage a lot, I feel like pretty in tune with the moon often. Those movements I feel like do deeply affect me. This last full moon in Aries, watching other people move. I feel like it was a big deal. So I do always put those down. And drama, less of it. Try and hold back if you can. So Saturday, man, it's the 7th already. Guys, if you haven't ordered your Halloween costume, if you're not a homemade Halloween costume maker and you get it on Amazon, you better order it now.
We'll be doing 2024 predictions before you know it. I feel like it's partially on because I do the business stuff, but I always feel like once we hit like the fourth quarter, which is my favorite because you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but it's like bang, 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 and then it's like done.
And it is. Once Halloween's there, then everybody starts getting their Christmas tree out, and it starts really making me nervous. I don't like it. So then I'm going to type this out, and then I really hope that someone corrects me, because again, and we don't have these this often, so it's kind of wonky and weird to look at it and say that Saturday, October 7th, no major movements. The moon isn't moving anywhere.
I think we did this show for a good year and a half without ever having one of these, and I get it. I think it's if you look at like your chart and you see where things are at, and kind of the geometry of like when the angles are, it kind of makes sense where everything's at as to why it's doing this. But it's really weird that particularly like I'd say the last 6 months, there's a lot of these
holes.
I don't know if the correct term is void, but it's they're these like spaces where there's nothing going on.
It's almost like time slows down, but time gets lost because there's not any indicative changes happening in that moment. It's just, I would even say
Steph's got moon enters Leo.
Well, but does it though? She's going to say, yeah, it does.
I guess it depends when you want to call it.
I have it going.
Do you have it going Sunday?
Yeah, I have it Sunday the 8th by just a hair. But so that'll be depending on where we are.
To me, it's more Like I get like that's like the transition, but
Yes.
particularly with the moon, you want to think of like the 2 days that it's in that sign. So if it's doing it very, very late on Saturday, even if that's technically correct, I would consider kind of Sunday to be the day where you're going to feel it.
So then what I'll do, so since Saturday I wouldn't normally put a movement down. No movement. I'll put moon waning into Leo late in the PM. Ooh. Moon wanes into Leo.
Actually, it's
Where
7:30 at night. That's kind of if you're out Saturday, that's going to be an energy people are going to be feeling if they're out doing stuff Saturday night.
yeah, it's going to go from Cancer, like, I don't know if I should be doing this. Should we be doing this? To 7:30 to like, let's do this. I'm going to do that. Everybody look at me. It's going to shift.
And I like Leo, so don't. I'm not being disrespectful by saying it, but me.
Me, and brave.
So emotional is going to shift from this depth to all of a sudden, like what's going to make me feel good, what's going to feel. So yeah, people are going to be acting on what fills their tank, what makes them emotionally fulfilled, whatever that looks like.
If you're looking for making your date on Friday or Saturday, make it for Saturday.
But it's not going to be. It's not going to be giving energy. It's going to be receiving.
Me, receiving energy. That's a good thing to remind all of the young witches and alchemists to work with. Coming back to you, it's like those commercials about asbestos. Asbestos is great for your roof and your wall. You can even cook with it. It's like, wait a minute. What's happening to me on this? So Saturday PM, moon in Leo. Let's go ahead and put that on there because that is important. I'm doing it. The LSU game is going to be on. And
I was just messaging Field Guy. I'm a Gator fan, and generally Columbia or Columbus Day is like the Columbus Day weekends when they play each other. But I haven't been following because honestly, Florida's going to be bad this year, so I wasn't really paying attention.
It's crazy. I didn't know you were a Gator fan. Really?
I grew up in Penn State country, so the last thing anybody that knows me, I'm a contrarian. The last thing I was going to do is be a Penn State fan, so I picked a different team when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Stuck with it for decades.
Well, it's like Florida State or Miami U. And so my best friend in high school, her and her older brother both went to Miami U. So I had to, by default, hate the Gators, but I like their logo much better. So if that matters, I really don't love college football, but I'll say that much. It was when Shockey played. It was the year that Shockey played. Anyway, just to I don't like college football. I'm adopting a rescue dog on Saturday, says Sherry. Is that a good time? Yeah, especially Saturday morning when not a whole lot's going on. It might be a nice calm energy to get things going. And then later that evening, a lot of selfies, and it gets to go to Petco and pick out its favorite toy.
I'd say any time's a good time to get a rescue dog.
Yeah. Matt, how many rescue dogs do you have now?
6.
We love that about you. We absolutely love it. And
they're all quiet right now. At some point during the show, like people are going to come home and you're going to hear all 6 of them go nuts, but they're very quiet right now.
And you got a new one just recently. What did you?
We had a friend posted that they own a construction company, and somebody dumped a puppy into not just the garbage dumpster, but the construction dumpster. So there was this cute little puppy stuck amongst like conduit and bricks and crap like that I guess was just going to get crushed. And so they went to the shelters, and there's tons. I think because the weather's warm here, like we have lots, like strays live. So there's lots of strays here. All the shelters were full. So they're like, yeah, you can drop her off, but we'll put her down immediately. And so we're just like, no, we'll just take her. So yeah, we have 6 now.
That's 6 now. And so what did you name her?
Aurora. Somebody said that like it was I forget the name, but like somebody had posted because we were like talking about this, and they're like, well, she had another sunrise because you guys adopted her, so you should call her like Aurora. And she's got like this like angel pattern or like cross pattern on her chest. To me, it looks like an angel. It's like really cute. So
I love that. Well, and
I don't know how well it'll translate, but I'll look for pictures here while we're talking.
Yeah, and do it because I love Aurora. If you're into music and you're looking for a new artist to love and you don't already love Aurora, she's one of my favorites. She got super popular a few years back because she was the secret voice in Frozen 2. Oh, that was her.
Okay.
But she also has a like album, and she's from Norway, and she's kind of like Bjork, and she's really fun to listen to, and she's really weird. But her music, Hungry, Run from the Wolf, so many of them just like make you cry. They make me cry. Which some would say is not hard to do, but it is actually hard to make me cry. So anyway, let's go on to the 8th.
Not as hard as me, as you know.
I know. Matt's never cried before, ever.
I haven't cried since I was like 7.
It's been 28 years. Sunday the 8th. What? So much stuff going down. Go ahead and put a few dots down. The first thing is boom. Mars in Libra squaring off with Pluto in Capricorn. What?
Do you see that?
Yeah,
There
you're live
she
in the
is.
chat. You get to see it. Oh, look
There's
at
my little
how
sweetie.
cute.
So there she goes.
And it is cute too. So the first one, Mars enters. I don't even know what I said. Mars and Libra squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn. What do you have to say about that? What?
I'm a Mars. I'm a Mars in Libra, so that's kind of cool.
Okay. A lot of controlling. The Farmer's Almanac said a lot of control.
So Mars is, activity, action, and I go back and say that Libra is diplomatic, so it's trying to get things done, but it's trying to get things done through other people. So it's more like influential. So I would say, in general, in this spot, be aware of others trying to maybe manipulate you into doing things you might not want to do. In this case, since it's square, square is conflict, and I always pay big attention to anything that's got Pluto, because Pluto is big, profound, we don't give a crap changes. So these are the things that I always look for on the world stage as to what could happen. So this is diplomatic, trying to move things along, kind of having a conflict with profound change, and Capricorn's all about achieving things and getting things done. So I feel like there's a conflict between, so I view this as diplomacy is not working. So I'd really look on the world stage. This is Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah, somebody's
and a few other things are happening.
Throw a big wrench, and whether this is our domestic politics or the war or something with China, look on Sunday, because somebody's going to throw a wrench in how things were going. So look for that. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
It's weird because
I'll pull some cards just to get an idea, but
yeah, the neurolinguistic programming, the words and things that I had pulled for that was fair / fair. Because there's some shifts in Venus also happening later on that evening, Sunday evening, that I'm going to bring up here in a second. But this Mars, so fiery fighting in a diplomatic way, squaring off with like your life and death. What's fair is fair. All is fair in love and war. Fair. What is fair? Fair, FAAR, ARE, like a fun fair, like a Ferris wheel. Fair. So, some kind of important words there. What do you got? What card did you pull for this life change?
I'm kind of confused. I got Judgment, which is rules, so that makes sense. 5 of Cups, which means kind of looking backwards is going to be disappointing. You got to look ahead. So I was like, okay, that makes all sense. But then I got Queen of Wands, and that's the one that kind of threw me. So I don't know exactly how to translate that into global politics type stuff.
Nancy Pelosi? I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be. What do you think? Female.
It's going to be a female. Yeah, so I see that it's going to be a female looking backwards, not forwards on things. That's going to screw things up. So I think this is just me on the world stage. There aren't too many, at least in kind of my thoughts right now, there aren't a whole lot of females on the world stage in things that I think could gunk things up other than MTG. So that's what I'm thinking is gonna. I think it's Taylor Green's gonna do something.
Oh, Marjorie.
That's my prediction. Marge is gonna do something, looking backwards, not forwards, and gunk something up.
Hey.
And that's only because she's the only one I can think of. You know, the only one I can think of, and I can't think of her name, is it's not the prime minister. I want to say it's the foreign minister in Germany. She's been in the news a lot too.
Tulsi Gabbard's been in the news for Maui.
Thing. So yeah,
maybe she throws her. Maybe she goes in for president. Please, Lord. Wouldn't Tulsi Gabbard be a good president? You think? No, maybe.
My only hesitation there is you know what I feel. You know how I feel about Russia, and she tends to like echo a lot of Putin stuff. So that's my only hesitation on her.
Okay. All right. Sunday night. I love seeing how these things pan out. It actually makes me really look forward to watching the news sometimes, which is hard to say. Venus enters Virgo. Thank God. Hail. That's Venus is in my Virgo. But what
is that your Venus? I know you have a ton of Virgo.
It's
your
Virgo,
Venus is Virgo too?
Yep, the first 4. Yeah. It's going to feel so good. But what does that mean to you? To everyone else? Well, to me, it means that it's moving out.
For the longest time when it was in Leo, I always felt like that was like romantically what's in it for me. It was kind of the energy here.
A lot of pregnancy scares.
Not that this is going to be much better. You're shifting from what's in it for me to, I always view Virgo as detail. You know, specifics, I's dotted, T's crossed, very analytical. So the shift might not be very positive because it could be like, what's in it for me? Oh, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and assess now my romantic situation and see if I'm really getting what I deserve. And so I feel like this is going to be a romantic self-assessment. Starts on Sunday.
That's a great way to describe it. I'm writing that down.
If you don't know, I always like adding extra things here. You know, Venus and Mars are very interesting to look at. So if you are and I'm going to say this in like traditional gender things. So if not, you know, you can modify this as needed. But, you know, traditional male, what you project to others is your Mars sign, and what you are attracted to is your Venus sign. And it's the exact inverse for women. What you project is your Venus sign, and what you're attracted to is your Mars sign. So, you know, so it's always interesting if you want to look at your like charts of romantic couples. It's always interesting because in an ideal world, and it's more, you know, there's more involved than just this. But if you just want to look at Venus and Mars in an ideal world, your romantic couple should have like alternate Venus and Mars signs.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if that were the case? One of these nights we're gonna bring up some charts and maybe we'll share our partners and see how fun it is.
I forget. I gotta go back to that. I forget what my wife's Mars is now.
Steph says if you're in a good romance.
Venus is Cancer, which I've mentioned before. Cancer is the sign I like, so that makes sense. I forget what her Mars is, though.
Man, Carson in the chat says, I'm singing Hard Times. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I'm telling you, when I sing Hard Times, I think of that's going to be one of the songs that I sing on The Voice in an alternate universe when I go on The Voice, because I would never wait in that line. That's stupid. But I would sing Hard Times by Ray Charles. Love that song. It's like a really random song too, but that would totally be the song that I sing. So
and I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'll add, and you said you could see this. I think you're the one who said you could see this. I can't. So if you are, my Venus is Aquarius, and I would have to say that out of all the 12 signs, if I would just look stereotypical as to what I'm attracted to, I probably would have put Aquarius in like number 12. So like I don't get that one, but. That's my chart. My Mars is Libra, but I have a ton in Libra.
Need to bring up our charts one time and just
Just
do our
like you're
charts. So
just like
people
you're
get to know
Virgo,
us.
Virgo. I mean, my son's Cancer, but I got like tons of other stuff in Libra.
Yeah. And when in doubt, I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, you dead.
When
Your
in
first
doubt,
4 signs are all Virgo. You got a lot of
I
Virgo
like being a
stuff going
know-it-all.
on.
It's all right. Forgive me later. Forgive me, Father. And here's why I've documented it. On the 2nd. Okay. Monday. It's going to be Monday. Thank God. Well, I don't know. It's Monday. It'll be Monday, and it's Monday the 9th. Only one thing's going down unless people in the chat have corrections for me, which they probably do. Thank God. But I have that Venus and Virgo. We just talked about that. But then that's opposite Saturn in Pisces, and that's retrograde. So when I'm looking at that, ooh, baby, how do we feel about that? They're like right on the line there. And it's kind of nerve wracking. I get nervous anytime Saturn is anything because I really think of rules.
Yeah, but I feel like Saturn and Pisces is, I've said this before, there's like this self-sacrifice in Pisces, that kind of deathbed perspective. So I always feel like Pisces and Saturn is kind of, I'll take one for the team and I'll sacrifice. So this rule might not help me, but I feel like the rule helps the greater good. So I'll go along with it. Opposite is not the same as square. So it's not conflict, even though I feel like verbiage wise, that seems to imply that it's more tension. So I feel like this is, if Venus and Virgo, as I mentioned earlier, if that's this kind of romantic accounting of how things stand in a relationship, you have that tension between what you want versus what's more for the greater good, whether that is the relationship as a whole, whether that's your partner, whether it's your family. There's that tension between, hey, I might really, feel more satisfied if I had X in a relationship, but, doing that would create problems for, these 5 people, or this huge issue, or it would create this kind of drama, or so it's that tension between kind of the greater good versus maybe what you might want personally.
That makes me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I had written down the neurolinguistics was satisfaction. So when I think of satisfaction, I think of to suffer is to love, or to love is to suffer. Man, some of what you said there kind of resonated with that. And then our resident astrologer joining us in the chat said, and don't forget the moon squaring off with Uranus on Monday. So if you've got Uranus and Taurus, and then that means the moon is in
Leo. Is it Leo?
Yeah. So it's waning. So moon waning in Leo. Squaring off there. How do you feel with that Uranus and Taurus? And that's retrograde as well.
So it's funny because we always talk, these planets far out, they move very, very slowly, which is a good thing, because I have a ton of angst when Neptune and Pluto both move. So I'm glad they haven't moved yet. But so we keep repeating the same thing here. But, Taurus and Uranus, I feel that's like rebelling by not doing, because Taurus doesn't really do a lot. They like to be stable and indulgent, but Uranus is kind of like the rebel and kind of the outlier here. So you got Moon and Leo, so you have kind of emotionally what's in it for me. So yeah, I feel like this is people not emotionally getting what they want, so they're going to be passive aggressive and not do something that you would normally expect them to do. So what I would do on this is I would look as if somebody lets you down and does something unexpected, particularly if it's unexpected by not doing something they normally do, there's probably a message being sent there. And Not that I would turn it into a conflict, but I would read into that. It's probably not just a simple I forgot. There's probably some meat behind that, and maybe you want to evaluate that relationship and what's going on.
That's so important. I can already see it panning out. I can already see it panning out. Oh, that's Monday. And then it's going to be a full, man, and we're down to the last 5 minutes. It's going to come full circle. Yes. Yes.
I'm not being rude. While we're talking here, I'm looking for a quote that came to me
Sure.
when you were. So if I can find it.
And then Tuesday, man, something real crazy happens. Is that the 10th? Is that going to be the 10th? It is going to be the 10. 10, 10, 23. 10, 10, 23. What are you? Oh, look at, I see it. Click over too. It even looks fun to watch on the thing. Steph says, watch for erratic, eccentric behavior on Monday with some of those Uranus. I always think of Uranus as the curveball. And with it being retrograde, us not necessarily being able to see that curveball, man, a curveball coming at you that you can't even see, pow, look out. And by the Taurus, the bull, pow, look out. It's like Ferdinand the Bull hitting you out in the middle of nowhere when he's been sitting on the hill over there sniffing flowers for the last decade. What the heck? Something's up.
I can't find it, so I'm going to share it in case somebody else can get it. And I don't even remember the full quote, so maybe it doesn't affect, but I'm thinking of, it was the girl who was the stewardess in Airplane. I don't even know if it was the Airplane movie. Had a quote, and like every other word on it was like suffer. And that's what was like popping into my head, but I cannot remember. I looked up Airplane quotes and I can't find it.
Okay. Someone listening.
So hopefully somebody can find it. I was trying to look and I can't.
Let us know. Find us online.
It was something like, to live is the suffer, to die. Like it was just, everything was like suffer, 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 suffer.
That's the final tail end of this last week.
Unless it's the Mandela effect and it's all in my head that's in the movie. Because I will say the weirdest Mandela effect is the first time I heard, I know we shared this before,
Luke.
Ordinary World by Duran Duran. I knew the lyrics before that even started. I'm like, I love this song. This was like a Julian Lennon song. And then I heard this whole thing, and everything I look up says that it was original by them. And I swear I heard that song years and years ago by Julian Lennon, and there's no evidence of any of that. So that's my weirdest Mandela one, to the fact that I actually even knew the lyrics of the song before they like sang it. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I know this song, and nope.
And you're in a different timeline now where that's not.
And I gotta say, the Julian Lennon version was better. Not that I dislike the other one, but it was like really good. Not that I'm a Julian Lennon fan.
It may not even exist, but it's better.
It was like really, really good, and it's all like made up in my head.
Yeah, Shazam was better with what's his face than what's his face. Like there's just so many fun different ones. So anyway, and I know that we've anyway. Okay, Tuesday. Listen, we got to tell you this. We got to get this in here before the end of the show. Because look at this.
I'm rambling. I'm
no, we're in a good mood. This is a good thing because look at what's happening. Oh my God. Say it isn't so. Pluto.
Happy about that.
Direct.
Not happy about that.
In Capricorn. Guys, this is a really big deal.
Yes.
The last time Pluto will be direct in Capricorn, we get to spend these last few months of the year with the goat for the last time in our lifetime in this space. Mm-hmm. And so it's an ideal time.
Aquarius soon. And that's one half of my doomsday scenario, because then we just need Uranus to go into Aries. Because just so you know, for folks that don't know, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was the American Revolution. And the last time Uranus was in Aries was the American Civil War. And so I have like really bad feelings about when
So think about this is the last few months of your life and death lessons before moving into a new age, a new order. Can't you just hear the tinfoil crackling? That
just think about it. Pluto is that impersonal, like profound change, and it's in Aquarius, which is the rebel.
Yeah. Blow
crap up and let's redo things. So this is like revolutionary energy, and it's in there for so long. It's like Pluto's in like Aquarius until like I'll be dead before
we're never gonna see this
it's again. In like it's like 25 years that it's in freaking Aquarius. So like it's just gonna stay there forever. And then once Uranus delusion moves from this introspection to Aries of now we're going to like blow shit up and like totally remake the universe based on our delusions. Like that combo is just, we have to look at, I wanted to look that up. I don't know. I mean, it obviously happened sometime in history. I got to look that up. That's going to be my homework, is to look
What's your
up
homework?
what happened in world history the last time Uranus was in Aries at the same time Pluto was in Aquarius.
Okay. Will you send it to me when you find it?
That had to have happened sometime in past history, and I'm sure it's not good.
It's probably Nero on a damn mountaintop playing his
it's
fiddle
probably
on
gonna be
fire.
like, Fall of the Roman Empire or something like that.
Right. I was gonna say. Anyway, I hear the Beatles. You say you want a revolution. It might be beautiful. Woo, yeah, That's what I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be hopeful about it, guys. But if you want to know, Matt and I are going to be doing some birth chart specials. I think we should extend our offer from last week. You guys remember we were doing the minis for 88 and then the fulls for 144. So those are the reading specials. If you want to contact us, let us know. mslosure@yahoo.com, paranormalsarah.com.
And I feel like we should, and I'm feel bad because I'm putting Sarah on the spot, but I feel like we should
do it
before I go on vacation. We should pick a night and just do $5 card pulls.
Oh yeah, we should, but we should only do it. Yeah, we should do that. $5 card. Man, I can't say that fast, and I could be an auctioneer too, but I can't say that. $5 card. $5. That's kind of hard to say. So let us know. Maybe we'll do that. When do you go on vacation?
Next Friday, not this Friday. Next Friday.
Okay, we should do it next.
I was supposed to you guys get a bonus that I'm here tonight because I was supposed to be in Pennsylvania and I wouldn't have been able to do the show, but I had to cancel my plans.
Oh, I'm so glad you were here. I would have been lost without you. I would have been lost without you. Next Saturday is a really great time, but that's too late. And so the next time would be the 11th on Wednesday. Mars enters Scorpio. Oh my gosh. We've got so many crazy things happening this October, guys. Please sign up for notifications. Let us know what you would like to see, what you're interested in. If you need a birth chart reading or you just need some insight, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be here next Tuesday.
Maybe tomorrow night. I don't know what your schedule is. Maybe tomorrow night or Thursday night we can do like I'll do 3 card pulls for $5.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I think it would be fun, and we can do it more frequently too.
Yeah.
So sign up for notifications, so guys. Yeah, that way you guys will know where to find us at. Otherwise, download us on Subspace, Odyssey Radio, Paranormal Channel, all the places. But we do hope to see you next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central at the very least. Also check out Sunday Night Dead with Matt on Sundays. And guys, again, sign up for those notifications. We're going to do some cool stuff this week just to kind of keep our head out of the sand and use the astrology. We're using it, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
I freaking hope so. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Good night.